we fill those gaps in with the God of the Bible. All you need to do is change what fills the gaps. All you need to do, and that's what people do. So let's go through some examples here. I'm going to try to break these up into outright replacements that UFO, again, I'm calling them UFO believers, again, people who really, extraterrestrials for them really are their religion. They're their gods. They get their whole worldview from this now. There are ways that they outright replace certain components of theism and Christianity. And then there are other ways that they just sort of swap in substitutions or at least parallel certain doctrines and ideas. Let's talk about replacement. Ineffability. Anybody know what that means? Go ahead and shout it out. It's beyond sort of the terms of description that we have. It defies description. So it's unknowable, incapable of being known or understood or defined in any coherent way, which is why in biblical theology, God tells us that you wouldn't know anything about me and get it right unless I told you first. Okay, this is where the doctrine of ineffability derives from in terms of what the Bible says. Examples of God revealing himself. Exodus 3:14 is pretty familiar. This is the burning bush incident. I am that I am, so on and so forth, where that particular divine name is revealed. Deuteronomy 29:29, the secret things belong unto the Lord, but you can't know my mind completely. The only thing you can know is what I tell you, what I instruct people to write down. Other than that, you're guessing, and you're going to guess wrong because I'm not like anything else. This is why the Israelites were not supposed to make any graven image, because God isn't like anything you can conceive of, so don't try. It's pointless and it's errant because God's going to be insulted by anything you compare him to that's in your created little world. Isaiah 55, my thoughts are above your thoughts, so on and so forth. Now, UFOs and ET are ineffable in the sense that the nature, now just think about this, the nature and intentions of the aliens are really unknown and they're unknowable. A religion has tended to offer explanations to questions beyond science. See, that's one of the roles as secularists would look at religion. One of the roles of religion is to answer questions that science can't, to fill in those gaps. Well, I would suggest to you that for the ET believing community, that's exactly what ET does for them. They are beyond the edge of science. Where science stops, they begin. Okay, what science cannot answer, they already know. Okay, they fill in this gap. There's no need for the God of Israel, the God of the Bible, if we have ET. Transcendence. Transcendence refers to something being either remote or superior to human existence, of a radically different nature, absolute superiority. Now, there's a positive transcendence. God possesses certain attributes that we do not possess, even in part, and he's so other than we are. And then there are negatives, where God does not have the limitations that we do. Okay, so there's two sides of that coin: transcendence, beyondness, greatness. Here's a quote from Salaba. Although UFO occupants are described as if they had physical bodies, they seem to be spiritual or psychic, some kind of material, immaterial, something in between. Their nature appears to be radically different from that of human beings, surpassing it not only in degree, but also in kind. They are utterly different than you.